Alright everybody, now we're in game, looking like we're gonna be following both teams right now. Gonna start off looking at my boy Dan, who's gonna be heading down the mid lane, up against a Fizz. Looking pretty good for him, but later on this could be a pretty big problem when he hits 6, because you know, Vel'Koz is pretty reliant on that having an advantage as when they hit level 6. And it's fair to say that Fizz has pretty damn good chance against Vel'Koz. The invulnerability is going to dodge a lot of his ult procs and a lot of his abilities. That could be really bad for Dan, but it depends on this Fizz's play. If he wastes his playful trickster, Dan could easily get a kill. He could also be lagging though. That would be pretty bad for him. Looking like the top lane is going to be Nasus up against a Yasuo. A little odd pick for the Yasuo into Nasus. This Yasuo was the last pick, so hopefully he's a very competent Yasuo. Might be a mid lane player, so he might not have a lot of top lane experience. Looking like we got a Sivir and a Morgana bot lane against a Graves and a Nami. Looking like pretty standard starts. The Nami going for the both of them of the supports going for the Spell Thieves, and the ADCs going for their Doran's Blades. Looks like we got Hecarim starting at the Krugs with his Hunter's Machete and 2 pots. That's pretty obvious. And Vi doing the same. She's going to be starting a Gromp, however. Now, I'm not exactly certain how well Hecarim works out with this Krugs start, because you know, it's very in meta to just go with the other starts. It looks like we got Dan and Fizz not really doing anything. Dan walking up for that first CS, he gets it. Fizz letting that first CS go on wide. We don't know what's going on with this Fizz. He's looking like he's grabbed some items that are pretty indicative of just not getting hit or anything. Maybe. Who knows? Just let it go out. Dan not looking to push, looking the last hit. Oh, going for poke instead of last hit, and that might not have been the best idea for him, as it is going to also push the wave towards Fizz, considering that he's switching the minion aggro. Starting to push the wave with his W, getting some autos on. Minions clearing more waves. He's pushing way in with this on the Fizz, and the Fizz is looking like he wants this. Alright, with his W and his Playful Trickster. Now, if Dan had his third ability, he'd be going in on that, but he's backing up a whole lot, because he has really nothing to be up there for him. I don't think he's really that worried for Hecarim gank early, but, you know, he's a little cautious when he's playing ranked, so we'll see how it works out for him. Looks like he's now got his E, his, what's it called, his Tectonic Disruption. It's going to be pretty good for him. I do not know the actual range for the ability that's close, as in where that ability, if you hit it close enough, it will knock the enemies backwards away from Vel'Koz. But, it's kind of hard to decipher where close is, because as you saw earlier, he did do it pretty far out, and it did not work out well for him. Dan dodging the Playful Trickster, but gonna get the W proc put on him, which is pretty much a lot of Fizz good damage with the missing health percentage takeaway, and only being able to land a 1 proc worth of damage out is not gonna be very good for him. Looking like we had a gank earlier in top lane, but that just kind of went. That just went to crap. Scoreboard. There's where we want. Okay. Looking like bot lane going pretty well, although while the bot lane is obviously pushing because of Sivir, Graves is still beaten out in CS, probably because losing a lot of gold to ricochets. Now, if you were me in this situation, I would not be pushing up whatsoever, especially with a Hecarim who can move around and take that advantage of the Tribush's weird angles and not really have to deal with them. Nothing really going on, seeing it's the early game, but looking like Nasus is going for his regular start. This is going to put Yasuo at a big disadvantage once he starts getting those items. Teleporting to a minion, odd decision. You know, can't really blame him for it. He's taking a lot of damage, but Yasuo is negating a lot of it with his shield. Trying to dash a lot. Too bad they removed his regular old W passive where he got flow, is it? Yes, flow on his dashes. That would have really helped him out there. He's still not 6, but he is getting there. We're feeling like maybe if this wave... No, it's looking like he's got... Yeah, he's got a crystalline flask, so looking like this Nasus is looking to farm out under tower for the rest of this game. Yasuo might not find a lot of work considering their team. If he catches out the Fizz, it might be pretty good, but you know, Fizz can get a slightly bit tanky. And can disrupt that. Oh, looks like we got another teleport to a minion. That's a weird decision again, but through the top laners, just teleporting the minions left and right. As we all know, it takes about a minute off if you teleport to a tower rather to a minion, and they really don't seem to care about that whole advantage there. Still, just Yasuo focusing on the CS. Now he's hit level 6. He might go in for an all-in, but we doubt it. Oh, he canceled 2 auto attacks and then just missed his Q. So he's definitely going to lose out on this trade. Not that it really matters. Looking like he got some crit chance, but crit chance and a little bit of AD and lifesteal and health. But we all know that Nasus is really going to get disgusting once he gets those armor items that really just take away from all that Yasuo can do. Taking a lot of damage, not doing a lot with this. Yasuo looking like he's going to be in big trouble getting the ult off, but he's got no damage to supplement with this. He's going to look like we're having a big fight, and fucking... and the dots take him down. Very, very low health. Unfortunate. Again, I think he should not have done that, where he tried to proxy the farm a little bit. That's going to be very bad. This Nasus is going to go back and finish his armor item and start working on the Warden's Mail, the Glacial Shroud, of course. Might go back for Boots, though. Boots would... no, it's looking like he's going to go for more armor. Maybe he doesn't even have enough gold. We'll see. As for the other lanes, looking like Vi getting her items, should start getting those early ganks off as soon as possible, but she's still not 6, and she still doesn't have her warrior enchant. Dan looking like he's at low health in a pretty bad spot considering that Fizz has just leveled up and gotten some good mana for a couple abilities. Looking like he's leveling up as Playful Trickster, popular built level up path for Fizzes who just want to play a little bit more on the how you say, farming side, and not really looking for all those big all-ins, more like outplay potential and such. And then we go to the bot lane, and it's looking like there's not a whole lot going on except for Sivir's clear lack of mana. Failing the spell shield, the Nami bubbles. The Nami bubble seemed to be placed on the support rather than Sivir. And that's going to put her in a big disadvantage. Getting a little bit traded on. Clear that this Nami is doing some good work at putting on the damage. Vi going in on Fizz for a gank, and we're looking like... It's looking like it could be pretty bad for the Fizz. He does not look like he has a whole lot of mana. And if Dan could just ult, he doesn't look like he has got the mana. And she's going to have to blow her ult there. The cooldown for her ult is about a minute and a half, which could be... Oh, and it's looking like a pretty bad decision by Hecarim by going in on... trying to defend the tower from Vi and Vel'Koz. He's going to get completely destroyed by the Vel'Koz laser. And it's looking like we're going to head up top again, looking at Yasuo, who traded in that Brawler's Glove, I think it's called, for the Avarice Blade, upgrading that item. Now, it doesn't have a lot of innate utility aside from the crit chance, which is doubled for Yasuo, as we're all aware of, and small gold passive, but unless he's doing some pretty good farming, it's not going to amount to a whole lot. Looking like he's taking a couple tower shots for no good reason, and Nasus is going to take good advantage of that, placing all of his damage underneath him. And as we all know, the Wither in the Spirit Fire has little to no cooldown, so he can just keep doing that over and over if Yasuo keeps making bad mistakes like that. And it's looking like Yasuo is also in a bad spot up here in top lane, as he is unable to keep his shield whenever Nasus has his Spirit Fire up, as he can just instantly proc the shield. And if any time, looking like we're having a gank up top, looking like Yasuo gonna be going down because he just does not have any health health or real damage. Gonna get smited, ulted, and nope, he's trying to make something happen, but it's not looking like anything's gonna happen, and he's gonna go down. Vi is looking like she's making something happen up here. Nope, nope, nope. And then there's Hecarim. Nope, gonna have to run away clearly because Ness is just top and will be able to apply the pressure back on to Vi if she tries to keep going on here. Looking like we're gonna might have a fight for Scuttle Crab, but Vi is not contending this anymore, and he's got it locked up in a corner somehow. It's quite impressive, actually. So looking like the top Scuttle Crab gonna go for blue team this side, and Hecarim's speeding up. Looking like he wants to check the flank, go for a counter gank, but it's a little too late, and that looks like we're gonna have some problems here. Graves trying to get in. Oh, the minion damage taking down Sivir, and Sivir and Morgana might be going down as well. Oh, the bad flash, bad flash. Unaware that Graves was completely flashed in fear of the ult Q combo, but unfounded fears, as we all saw there. And looks like as far as the gold advantage though goes, Sivir. That's strange. Where did Graves die? It's hard to say. But looking like Vi got a successful gank bot without the help of the ADC. It's quite impressive. But as we saw, Graves and Nami were a little low health, and it's looking like mid laner and the support are heading down to Dragon to get some more damage off. And help Vi clear it out a little bit faster. And it's looking like they're gonna get that Dragon successfully. Dan heading back to mid lane with his full Morellonomicons. That's pretty good for Dan. He can spam his abilities a lot more, but not exactly a whole lot. He's getting ulted on. Looking like this could be real bad for Dan. Gonna get the barrier off, and he does not have a Playful Trickster. Dan just straight up taking the damage to the face and not giving a goddamn shit. And it's looking like Hecarim gonna come in, probably gonna get the kill. And yep, with that ult, he just was done. And Dan probably should have realized that he was dead there and shouldn't have flashed, but instead he wasted it. Yasuo was about a mile back. Somehow he got bullied out of lane so hard that Nasus was gonna go in for the kill, but couldn't capitalize on it. He's got his Frozen Heart, so it's looking like Yasuo is going to have extremely big problems trying to deal with this Nasus, especially without a gank. If he can get a good gank off from Vi, though, I believe they could get a kill, especially if Nasus ends up pushing. But otherwise, this Nasus is looking like he's going to be a huge problem late game. With 135 stacks already, it's looking like he's going to only get more and more and more, as Yasuo cannot really do anything in this lane. As we all know, Nasus is just a bit more destructive in top lane when he is free fight. Looking like we're gonna go back to Dan, who finished up a hunting guys into some boots with that back. Also pretty good with him. He's not going for the big. Oh, looking like Fizz is making a huge mistake here, but oh, it's looking like he's dodging the abilities. Dan gonna get a proc off? No, it's not looking like he will. Oh, he did get the proc off, and that took out about 75% of his health. And it looks like we also had a gank top, exactly what I was talking about, where he also looked like he could get his ult off. And let's see if no, Vi did not actually have to spend her ult. It's looking like he got the knockback off of the Vi Q, which gave Yasuo the opportunity to ult. And even though he did not have the last whisper yet, which would be very effective for cutting down that armor, combined with the flat armor cutting that Vi has, it's looking like they just straight up had enough flat damage to deal with him. It's looking like Dan's gonna go down this Hecarim again, seeing as he just did not cover the flank. He just did not ward well enough and didn't see that he was coming in. Vi looking like she wants to do something, but it would be a very big mistake to go in on him. It's looking like she has no vision of the rest of the team, and if Fizz comes in, he may have his ult at this time and could be pretty bad for him. Yeah, looking like Chum the Waters on a minute cooldown. Pretty good for an ability that's basically DFG and a nuke. Whatever, not gonna talk about balance here, and we're looking at Sivir, who hasn't gone back yet since her last death. Doing really good on farm at 14 minutes, having a little bit over 100. Ooh, this could be really bad for Morgana. It's looking like she's gonna go down, or at least have to spend a flash. Yep, another death due to the overpoweredness that is Hecarim. Hecarim building, of course, near full tank and not getting any damage whatsoever is able to completely decimate his enemy team. Looking like Yasuo just walking into this Hecarim here. He's going to also die. Or not. Don't know what happened there. Just using a lot of abilities and fell in it. Looking like mid and top wanted to switch, considering that Dan's got the true damage against Nasus, and Nasus building pure armor is going to be a little bit more in a tissy against an AP champion who can deal true damage. Looking like we also had a little bit of a scuffle down bot. Vi killing the Nami, but getting killed herself by the Graves. Not really a good idea to feed this Graves, who already had 2 kills. Another kill, he's going to finish up that Infinity Edge. That being said, Sivir also finished up her Infinity Edge, is sitting on boots. Unfortunately, is missing about 750 gold out from Graves total, seeing as he has the Berserker Graves. He also got another Dagger, so that is indicative of even more gold lead that Graves has pulled out from this mid lane through pretty much passive play, and no doubt making big plays off of the making big plays off of the how you say, the Nami getting some good stuns off. No doubt that's where he's getting the goal on. Dan not really recognizing that Nasus was backing there pretty early, and ended up getting there. He's still gonna ward the bushes. He's a little afraid of the damage that Nasus can put out on him with the Wither and the Slow and the Ghost. Dan's a little afraid of that chase potential, especially considering that even though he has a tower, Nasus really probably wouldn't even care about it. Now looking at the Yasuo to Fizz conversion, looking like Yasuo's gonna get ganked from the flank again. Gonna evade the ult damage. Gonna actually turn this whole fight around with that big ult on Fizz. Seeing that Hecarim did not have a fellow top laner, and looking like Dan's gonna get engaged on by his Nasus, unable to get out of melee range. He's gonna be in big trouble unless he can get. Oh, he got the true damage proc, and that's another kill for Dan. Dan is clearly playing this game very well against this Nasus. Now that he's playing top lane, he's gonna do a lot better than this Yasuo did. Seeing as the natural tankiness that Nasus goes for really just counters what Yasuo is all about, and Yasuo pressing down the middle lane could probably do well by ganking bot, but it's looking like he's not there. Yasuo teleporting in, that's a pretty good idea for him. He's gonna get a good lot of damage out of this, and taking a good tower shots, but not gonna look like they're getting anything else out of this. There are a bunch of low health targets down in bot lane, but getting that Hecarim was more than enough for Yasuo. Might not be worth a teleport, but they're also going to convert the dragon off of this. Sivir going to probably try and push down this tower a little bit more. Seeing as they really have no pressure around it, it really doesn't matter exactly what anybody does. For all intents and purposes, Yasuo could go farm off Gromp. It doesn't really matter. They got this dragon on lock, and that's going to be the second dragon for him, enhancing their powers even more. Dan is not really playing a lot with the team, but he is doing very well by himself, and that's very good for him, for his team overall. And it's looking like they're going to let the Nasus off to himself. He's going to be farming this whole top lane all by himself. He's got 2 waves, and he's going to be turning that into a couple hundred stacks. Gotten 213 at 18 minutes. That's not exactly fantastic for Nasus, but it's certainly something, and they could be in a good spot of trouble if they don't effectively shut him down here soon. Now it's looking like he's going to go for the Iceborne next after the Frozen Heart, going pure AD resistance, seeing as Dan's team is mainly AD, but not going to really looking to power on that armor, even though that they have really strong armor shred with Yasuo and Vi combined. Fizz is very hungry for Dan, looking like he wants to get those kills. Dan's got a 2-level lead on Fizz. Fizz might be looking to see what he can do here. Dan not gonna see the Fizz, gonna hit the ult and take a lot of damage off. He might just be dying here, and it's looking like Hecarim gonna come in and pick up the kill, and looking like Yasuo's gonna have to get out of here. Oh, he misses the Q and gets screwed over by Nami, but is able to get the get the wind wall out fast enough. Yasuo looking like we're gonna have a strange idea of coming out by Hecarim, going in on all of his all this, and he can't. Oh, looking like Yasuo. Ooh, Nasus coming in. He's gonna get the kill, maybe. Nope, looking like Vi and Sivir are gonna put down a lot of damage on him. Going straight for Sivir, seeing that he's in a bad position. Looking like he's gonna end up dying as he tried to switch off to Morgana. Not exactly the brightest idea he could ever have. Dan dying for that 3-for-1. That was a pretty good trade for them. Dan, of course, gonna be a little salty about dying there, especially to the 3-man gank, but he's looking pretty good with the full Leandries, Ionian boots, and Morello's probably going to be going for more Magic Pen after this. Strange to see that he did not buy the Magic Pen, but seeing as that is one of his favorite kind of item, he is already at max CDR, and that's just from runes, not runes. It's from masteries, the Lucidity boots, and the Morellos, that he already has 40%. He's not going to make very effective use of blues aside from their mana regen, and that's probably fine with him, because he's going to want to give those to Vi and other teammates who are more active in fights and more pushing around. Dan clearly is trying to do something about this Nasus. He's very worried about him farming up for late game, and is already seeing him as a problem. So he's going to use his good wave clear and good true damage to deal with Nasus screwing around up top. But it's looking like Nasus is going to switch over to getting some jungle farm. That's still not going to supplement that full wave experience he could get out of top lane. But Dan could convert that sort of risk into a kill if he so desires. So maybe it's a better idea for Nasus to hang off and just deal with the jungle. Hecarim, of course, seeing as his build is pretty cheap aside from the Trinity Force, is just gonna be doing whatever the heck he wants and just finding his gold mainly from champion kills. Still hasn't converted to a red sweeper. Unlike Vi, who's already done that to deny more vision. Seeing as Dan has purchased the upgraded ward, he's going to be warding up a lot of top lane, making sure that he does not get any sort of damage off from. He's not going to get any sort of ganks off from Hecarim and such. But Dan's starting to realize that nobody else is coming top lane, so he can clear top lane to his heart's content. But they're just going to push right back, and he's going to not be really doing a whole lot. So he's looking like he's going to want to get some fights in with the team. Coming in the back line, Sivir is a little pushed up. That might not be good for him, considering that if Hecarim decides to go in, he could get some real big damage off. And if a Wither gets off on Sivir, we could see just the end of a fight right there, seeing as the amount of damage they can put off. Looking like they might be setting up for a Baron. Not exactly the best idea, seeing as it's only 23 minutes. They might not have the damage or tankiness to deal well with Baron, and it's looking like they're setting up a death bush because they are obviously baiting this Baron. There's no vision in the bush they're sitting in, so it's looking like they're going to be moving on. And it's looking like Yasuo pops the gank a little bit early, and while Nami goes down, they probably could have held on there and gotten the Hecarim out of that, seeing as Hecarim was starting to move up. And now they're going to go for Baron. Still not exactly the best idea I could say they've ever had, considering that really they only got the support damage. It's looking like they're going to be able to put good damage off to this on the Baron. But it's looking like they're going to have to change their focus onto the fight in a few seconds. Sivir's still not really focusing well on the Baron buff, and they're going to get the Baron. Probably not going to do well with the buff overall, and they're already losing it off of Yasuo and Sivir, so that's not very good for them. Again, as a whole, it's not a very good idea to go for Baron so early in the game. You just take too much damage for it, and it's too risky when the enemy knows you're going to do it, because they can still force a fight and probably find some good success. Just like they did there, and that was a 3-for-1. And overall, just a bad trade for Dan's team. Not going to do anything really with this Baron buff. They got 1,500 gold off of it, which is pretty damn good, but they also lost 900 gold to certain specific targets. Dan also going to go down there to the unfortunate Nami bubble, and that is another target off with the Baron buff. Looking like we only got Vi, yes, just Vi with the Baron buff now, and looking like they're going to be setting up for third dragon, but blue team is a little more aware of this now, and probably going to be setting up for it themselves. Nami gonna get caught out here. Nope, looking like Vi is gonna miss it and going too ham for this. Not gonna have a roll, not gonna have any sort of escape, but he has that phage bonus, and now Yasuo, now Nasus looking like he's gonna teleport in. Gonna go try to get out of this fight because he knows he's in a bad spot, and ooh, I don't want to look at this. Fizz trying to make plays happen, but he really doesn't even have his ult anymore, and oh, Graves gonna pick up the kill with the lucky crit, seeing as he only has about 30. No, he's got a good amount of crit chance. I'd say that's fine. But otherwise, I would have been really upset if I was that Yasuo getting that lucky crit off on me. But you know, that's just part of the game. You gotta deal with it. Looking like they're still gonna want to set up for this dragon. A good idea considering that the next buff is movement. They're gonna be really good against this Nasus, who they can better manage off the back line as well as Hecarim. But overall, the 5% movement speed buff, as we all know, isn't exactly fantastic. Graves gonna try to steal it with the ult, and that's gonna be okay for him. He's not gonna have a long cooldown or a really big cost out of losing that ult. A little bit of burst, but it's looking like there's going to be separation and there won't be a good fight for about another 5-10 minutes. Dan looking like he's going to want to push in on the top lane Nasus, and he's getting the slow off and pushing him down. Yasuo is going to come in, unless when Yasuo gets the ult off on Nasus here, he's dead for sure. And that is it for that Nasus. Good idea by Dan and good response from Yasuo. Now, I'm not gonna say that that was the perfect idea. I think Dan could have also just taken Nasus out by himself, considering Dan's power. Looking like Hecarim gonna go in for Yasuo, might get the kill, but oh no! Dan's power is just so strong that he completely tore up the Hecarim 100%, and they're gonna be getting this top tower, and Yasuo is not even gonna go down. Nami looking for another big chance, getting another Nami bubble off. Graves still does not have his ult though, but he could get some big kills. This is a bad spot for him to be in. He still does not have their ult, but they're not aware of that. They're going to be afraid, and they're going to back off as soon as they can. Sivir canceling her back. That could be bad for her. She's going to go for the Gromp. Does not have lifesteal for it. I don't know what she's doing. Walking out there with 30 health. 30 health from the Gromp buff. That was just a little bit of a misplay from that Sivir. Just not really thinking it through. Looking like she's going to go back and finish up that Last Whisper. Or maybe, no, she's looking like she's going to finish up, probably didn't have enough gold for it, so she finished up her Berserker Greaves and got the second component of her Last Whisper. Probably rushing that so she can better deal with Hecarim and Nasus. But we all know that at this point in the game, with their particular team comp, that Sivir is basically just an ult bot right now. But nonetheless, going for the Last Whisper is probably her best option. She already has a lot of attack speed from the Static Shiv, the Berserker Greaves, and her Ricochet passive. And I think the Static Shiv overall is a better idea for her, considering that she's going to be doing a lot of pushing in the late game, and not going to really be focusing on the team fight aspect. But she could get completely shut down in the team fight, and that's nothing on her end. It's just that this Nasus, when he gets a full wither off, that's what is that? That's a 95% movement speed slow. That she's just not going to be able to avoid. Looking like they busted the Sivir ult and the Yasuo ult on the Hecarim back there. Looking like also we're going to get off Vile for that, and looking like they're going to die here, but without Dan there, I wouldn't be really saying that they could get anything really out of that. Dan is, of course, going to be moving there. Could be possibly pushing in mid to get more pressure around the map, and it's looking like Red Team has got a big, strong hold on the rest of this game. But I think it's very dependent on whether or not they can close this game out pretty quick. Overall, I think their ADCs become more moot over the game, and since Fizz is really far behind, he really can't do much in these team fights, but I think if you give him a little bit more time, he could end up being a big problem for a Red Team. Dan getting some big ult, and then he's going to ult off on the Fizz, getting the kill. That was fantastic by Dan, landing all of his abilities right on the Fizz, getting the procs, and even could have gotten Graves if he had hit him a little bit, if he was at a little bit more health, but a little less health. But that was just downright beautiful by Dan. You can tell he really deserves that gold spot. Learning the ropes of Vel'Koz, carrying himself to gold with him. I think, was that an ult? It was not an ult. Okay, just a W. Looking like they're getting that inhibitor. Bot lane looking like Yasuo gonna go down to Nasus. Just a bad sort of spot against that ult. Looking like this team fight's a little hard to commentate. There's a little much going on. Vi gonna want to get out of here as soon as she can. Dan gonna hold him off with the slows. Not gonna get a whole lot out of this. He does not have ult, so he cannot burst him down as fast as he may want to. And it's looking like Dan gonna get ulted on. Not gonna kill him because the lack of AP on Fizz, but looking like Fizz gonna get the playful trickster and get the kill. And he came out on top there. You can tell that this Fizz is might be able to do a whole lot with that gold, but seeing as he's so far behind, might not end up doing a whole lot for him. Probably going to go for the Zhonya's next, considering that he bought the amplifying tome, but we could see Leandry's out of him just yet, but don't think that's going to be the case. Looking like they're going to be holding off this mid lane super minions for a couple while, meaning that red team is freed up to do whatever they want, and seeing as Dragon is going to be up soon, they're probably going to be looking up the setup for that as soon as Vi is up, and she'll probably clear a couple buffs and then go for that. So overall, looking like this game is going very well for Red Team. About 11k gold ahead of them, but that last fight might have just given the Blue Team a bit more morale to carry on. Looking like Fizz might just be turning that Amplifying Tome into a Rylai's Crystal Scepter, considering that he got a blasting one, but that could also, you know what? Forget what I just said. He's probably going to be getting a Void Staff. Yeah. even though as far as the red team goes, there isn't a whole lot of magic resist on them. Dan gonna miss a slow, but Hecarim gonna back off, considering that he knows the damage the Sivir and Vel'Koz can pump out might not be worth it for him. And they're gonna get this dragon because Blue Team really just doesn't have the sort of response for this. Hecarim can ult in, but he's not gonna do anything out of this. And Blue Team looking like they're gonna win a collapse on this Morgana. But again, they're fearing the missing red team. So if they end up getting baited to something, they're just gonna feel the pain and get another ace off on them. It just won't be good for that team. And Dan's moving it. Dan and the rest of mid team trying to make more use out of that mid lane, but not going to look like they're going to get a whole lot. They're going to mount up for another Baron. This might be better off for them, considering that Vi's got some really good tank items on her. Strange that she's building near full magic resist, considering the enemy team does a lot of physical damage, aside from Fizz. And Fizz has an ult that penetrates % magic resist, and then Void Staff, which penetrates more magic resist. He's basically not making a whole lot of use out of 55% of that, because he's buying that for Fizz, that's for sure. Looking like Nasus gonna TP in. Gonna make him stop the dragon or not. And then, oh, looking like they still got the Baron out of it. Good smite by Vi, and Vi gonna be picking up some good kills. Yasuo barely with any help. And it's looking like she just got the ult off in time, and Yasuo might go down that. Yeah, he certainly did to the Fizz ult. It's just looking like they're gonna clear up the rest of this fight. Fizz is nowhere around. Dan and Yasuo died, the two big assassins, and looking like they couldn't make a lot out of this, except for the apparent decision by Sivir to go for the big wave top. Can't really blame her. She's an ADC. She sees a big wave and she's going to explode on it. But looking like she's not going to get a whole lot of this, missing a lot of her ricochet attacks, and they're going to be trying to push for that bot lane, but seeing as Sivir is not there, they probably aren't going to get the inhibitor out of this. The spawn timers are just too low, and looking like we got Hecarim and Nasus coming in for them. They're going to have to back off. If Sivir definitely went with them, they definitely would have gotten the inhibitor out of it. Just a bad idea, Sivir. Looking like the surrender vote came out by Blue Team, but unfortunately for them, or fortunately, whichever way you see it, It did not pass for blue team with a 3-2, as we saw in the chat corner right here, right there. Surrender failed for blue team, 3-2, and we're just gonna get back to the game. And they look like they're demoralized. They look like they realized how far behind they are, and it's looking like Yasuo is teleporting to the pink ward for some reason. Can't see when Dragon's gonna be up. That's unfortunate. See if we can find out what's wrong with that. I guess Dragon and Baron aren't coming up anymore. I guess it doesn't actually show until it's relevant, I suppose. I'm new to the spectator system, and looking like Vi is full build by now. Getting that. Well, yep. She's not near. She's near full build. Looking like she's going for the item the Hex Drinker gets upgraded to. Again, she is building against this Fizz. She's got a vendetta against this Fizz. Much like the Nasus got a vendetta against their AD comp. Getting nearly 200 plus AD. Not a whole lot of health for him. Looking like he's going to use all that health. Looking like he's going to want all this health from his ult. Might be going for Banshees next, but he still hasn't upgraded his boots. A bad decision if you ask me. When you're playing Nasus, you really want that movement speed. Because while Wither is very strong, you're not going to be catching up to anybody unless you get tier 2 boots. Looking like top lane with the Baron buff, they're going to be pushing in. Sivir not going to be... looking like a bad idea to team fight by the red team, but looking like they're still going to end up on top just from that gold lead. Sivir was focusing the tower, which is what she should have done in that situation, but I think if they played that a little bit better, they could have ended up with a perfect ace without any real damage going on. By taking a lot of it, doing well as a jungler playing tank. And it's looking like blue team is going to close out the game here. Yeah, it's looking like that's the case. It's just Nami up, and they're going to probably close out the game unless red team is a little BM and decides not to play. It's looking like Sivir is going to be a good guy in the game. So that was a good game by Dan and his team. Overall, they did very well, and Dan made some very good plays at the end, all throughout the game. Overall, they just had pure objective control over the blue team and were fighting better as a team overall. And they were able to close out that game early before the rest of the team got super huge. So with that, I'll bring this game to a close and see you all next time.